Do 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 do.
Today on Live from Ahch-To, a Star Wars podcast.
Order 66.
Master! You must run!
What just happened? Order 66.
What's Order 66?
What is going on?
We don't even know what the order is. We have orders from the Supreme Chancellor himself.
What is going on?
An order is an order.
None of this makes sense.
Hello?
The Emperor's here.
I have been most eager to see the progress.
Project Necromancer.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Why is there always a huge monster?
The A-Team! You're really the A-Team! I found you!
Welcome back, troopers, to Live from Ahch-To, a Star Wars podcast. May the 4th be with you. I'm your host, TJ, and Star Wars is as Star Wars does. I know in our previous episode we teased our celebration of the 25th anniversary of Star Wars The Phantom Menace, but we decided to subvert your expectations and bring you first an exciting episode about Star Wars The Bad Batch, which just ended its 3rd and final season. It took me a while to get here, but catching up first on Episode 2 Attack of the Clones, the Clone Wars animated series, and Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith was totally worth it as I thoroughly enjoyed this series. I love the confusion the team experienced at the beginning after Palpatine initiated Order 66, which ultimately led them to make a run for it and get into exciting and sometimes harrowing adventures. The heart of the show was the team's camaraderie, loyalty, and friendship. There wasn't anything they wouldn't do for each other, especially for young Omega.
Hello?
The show also gets into territory many fans were less than thrilled about.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
So what did you think of Star Wars The Bad Batch? Was it an exciting and adventure-filled thrill ride leaving you thirsty for more Star Wars? Or was it just the A-Team in space full of episodic filler-sodes with occasional sprinkles of a main story thread leading up to a payoff you really didn't care about in the first place?
Somehow Palpatine returned.
These perspectives and more on today's episode, so grab your gear and strap yourselves in as we talk about Star Wars, The Bad Batch. Up first today, we welcome Lunk Tunkel from Haw River, North Carolina. Thank you, Lunk, for joining us today to talk about Star Wars, The Bad Batch.
Yeah, you betcha. Thanks for having me.
So, Lunk, how did you like The Bad Batch?
I liked it, but why does Hunter look like Rambo?
Rambo? Oh. Yeah, I guess he sort of does with the hair and the headband.
He's like a cross between Rambo from the old Force of Freedom cartoon
Rambo, Force of Freedom,
and Hunter from Megaforce.
Call me Hunter.
Dave Minestrone was definitely an 80s kid.
You mean Dave Filoni?
Yeah, he probably likes Hawk the Slayer, too. I can't wait to see how he references that one.
Hawk the Slayer?
Oh, yeah, it's great. I mean, it's bad. So bad it's good. And by good, I mean it's awful. And by awful, I mean it's amazing. So amazing, it's really the worst thing you'll ever see in your life. So f***ing bad, it'll be your all-time favorite.
Okay. So what's it about?
It's about this hero named Hawk who has a magic sword with a pommel shaped like a fist.
This is a story of heroic deeds and of a wondrous sword wielded by a mighty hero.
A fist? That's kind of weird.
Not as weird as when it opens up and grabs the last elven mind stone.
I'm sorry, the last what?
Look into the heart of the stone. The last elfin mind stone. Think of the great sword in your hand, and it will be so.
It makes it so Hawk can call the sword to him with his mind, just like using the Force.
The mind sword is now yours, my son.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty cool.
And Jack Palance is the bad guy.
Bolton!
I demand the key to the ancient power.
And wears a helmet shaped like Darth Vader's. Will you kids be quiet?
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool.
It's totally a medieval fantasy Star Wars pastiche.
Yeah, it sounds great. I'll have to check it out. So getting back to Hunter...
Yeah, is that supposed to be a half skull tattooed on his face? Or is it black camo paint he just puts on?
I'm not sure. I would hope that it's like camo paint or something that's just applied on.
Yeah, I think it's a tattoo, though. Because there are situations they were in where it definitely would have been handy if they could just wipe it off and blend into a crowd.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
Yeah, and if it's really a tattoo, man, I bet that hurt like a son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine.
I really like tech, but not as much as a friend of mine that made a tech trooper armor costume.
Oh, wow, really?
Oh, yeah, it's f***ing awesome. I mean, really amazing. He goes to cons and stuff.
Wow, that's very cool. I'm way too short to pull off a trooper.
Short for stormtrooper?
Huh? Yeah, it's super cool. Wrecker, though, I think he's a big dumb doofus, and he reminds me of this Mongo-looking kid that used to beat me up in high school.
Mongo like candy.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's okay. He's in a coma now. Kind of like that Smith song, except that instead of being a girlfriend, he overdid it in a hot dog eating contest.
And thank you, Lunk, for calling in today to talk about Rambo, Megaforce, and Hawk the Slayer. Great to hear from you. And up next we have Mika McKenna from Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you, Mika, for calling in today to talk about Star Wars.
Hello.
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 Hello. So, Mika, how do you like the bad...
Mitteilklaus.
What? I'm sorry?
Mitteilklaus.
McClyklaus?
Mitteilklaus.
Is that English?
Mitteilklaus.
I'm sorry, Mika, did you want to talk about Star Wars?
Jeder mag gerne mit GPS.
Oh, what? I'm sorry?
Somehow Palpatine returned.
And up next we have Willy Joe Carter from 56 Arkansas. Is that a real town? Huh. Thank you, Willie, for joining us today to talk about Star Wars, The Bad Batch.
Well, hello there. Yes, so like you said, The Bad Batch is totally the A-Team in space. Hunter is Hannibal.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Wrecker's Mr. T.
I've been put in charge of arts and crafts. I make time.
Can I have some Mr. T cereal?
And the face and Murdoch character tropes were swapped out for a smart guy and a sharpshooter.
I pity the poor fool. Don't eat my cereal.
Yeah, I agree. I still think it's good, though much better than the A-Team actually was.
We're gonna crash! We're gonna crash!
Please, get him off me. Get him off me!
Yeah, it was good. How about a little predictable? Every other episode seemed to be either Omega, stay here, but she doesn't, and she gets in trouble. Or they're helping someone out in the Empire shows up at the last minute. Just like when Colonel Decker showed up at the end of just about every A-Team episode.
They're not to get out of here. Radio the others outside.
Yes, absolutely, exactly. So Willie, I have to ask you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I live in 56. 56 Arkansas. It's about 2.5 hours north of Little Rock in the middle of nowhere.
Wow, okay, cool.
Yeah, back in 2005, after Revenge of the Sith came out, there was an effort to change the town name to 66 in honor of Palpatine's order.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it didn't pass due to the rather large number of Star Trek fans in the area.
Huh, well, that's too bad, I guess.
They defeated the measure, and in turn they tried to have the town name changed to 7 of 9. 7 of 9 Arkansas. But us Star Wars fans rallied together, and we stopped that in a heartbeat. It'll be a cold day in hell before we live in a Star Trek town.
Oh, okay. Star Trek is cool, though. Well, the old series and the Next Generation are. It's just different.
Yeah, well, apples are different from rotten eggs, too.
Okay, sure.
We're gonna try again, though. Just as Palpatine returned...
Somehow Palpatine returned.
We're gonna return and fix this town right.
Well, best of luck to you.
Yeah, we can't pass this up, especially only being 3 hours away from Route 66.
Oh, nice. Route 66 is very cool.
So 66 Arkansas, it's gonna happen. Down the road from Route 66. And it's gonna be great.
Well, that sounds awesome. I can't wait to visit.
Well, heck yes. We can go to the Two Bald Guys Barbecue roadside barbecue trailer.
Wow, Willie, you had me at barbecue. That really does sound great. We'll definitely keep in touch, and thank you for calling in today to talk about Star Wars. And up next is Jack Shufflebottom from the Bronx, New York. Thank you, Jack, for calling in today to talk about Star Wars The Bad Batch.
Yo, what's up, TJ? I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, great to have you, Jack. So what are your thoughts on The Bad Batch?
Yeah, I really love the episodes with Cad Bane. He is a badass. I hope he's not really dead, though. That part near the end of Book of Boba bullshit really set me off.
Yeah, that series was really disappointing.
Yeah, totally. Like Pop-Tarts with an extra O and replace the first T with an F.
Oh, what now?
Poop farts. Get it?
Oh, yeah, I get it. And you're not wrong.
I thought there was a problem with my TV when that Boba shit show was on.
Oh, really? What kind of problem?
It smelled like poop and farts.
What?
Yeah, so I called up Spectrum and asked, hey, why does it smell like poop and farts in here when I'm watching Boba poop his pants?
Okay.
It only happened when I had Boba fecal face on. Turns out it was my roommate, Troy, hiding behind an easy chair with some of that novelty fart spray stuff they sell on Amazon.
Okay, that doesn't sound cool.
Oh, he thinks he's so f***ing funny. Hey, did you know that was Amazon's third best-selling product during COVID?
What, during the pandemic lockdown? Fart spray? Really?
Yeah, right after toilet paper and Burt's Bees chapstick.
Okay, so getting back to the Bad Batch...
Yeah, so I really want to try some of that Mantel Mix stuff that Rekka and Omega snacked on all the time after their missions.
Oh, yeah. That stuff kind of looked like kids' cereal to me.
Well, I read they actually have it at Disneyland in that Star Wars section. Well, excuse me, but they call it Outpost Mix.
Really? Huh. Well, that sounds pretty cool.
I'll probably never get to go and try it, though, because that place is expensive as hell.
Yeah, I agree. It's really ridiculous.
Ridiculous!
I also really liked how the Walrus Man-looking butt-faced guy, the hammerhead dude, and the Greedo-looking guy that hung out at Sed's place on Ord Man-Face, they looked like the old 1970s action figures.
Oh, wow, you're totally right. They do look like the old toys, don't they?
Yeah, but if the Greedo guy's actually Greedo, then the shoes are totally wrong.
The shoes are wrong?
Yeah. Greedo was played by George Lucas' secretary and is wearing white pumps in the original Star Wars Cantina scene with Han Solo.
White pumps? Like high heels? Seriously?
Low heels, technically, but yeah, just Google it.
Okay, wait. I need to see this. What do I search for?
Just search for Greedo and secretary.
Okay, hang on a sec. Greedo secretary. Wow, holy shit, you are right. Wow, that is too funny.
Right? And that's canon, too. Greedo was a cross-dressing f***ing weirdo.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious.
McConkey.
Yeah, hilarious. I still have my original figures from back in the day. Hang on a sec, I'm gonna dig them out. Hold on 1 second.
Oh wow, very cool. Okay, standing by.
Stick it in this box. Not in here. Hold on a second, TJ.
Yeah, sure.
I got this old Star Wars lunchbox when I was a kid, Return of the Jedi.
Cool.
Here we go. What? Where are my figures?
Everything okay, Jack?
I owe you $50, Troy. Troy? What the f***? Troy, where the f*** are my Star Wars f***ing action figures? Troy!
I didn't sell them on eBay.
What do you mean you sold them on eBay?
Jack?
You sold my figures to pay for your Netflix subscription?
Hey, Jack?
Like $12. You sold it for $12?
Hey, Jack?
You son of a bitch, Troy!
Ooh.
I'm gonna call the police. I'm calling the f***ing cops on you, TJ. I gotta go. Goodbye.
Jack? Wow. Okay, and finally, we welcome back our good friend Seamus McDougall from Lanark, Scotland, to finish up our discussion of the Bad Batch. How are you doing today, Seamus?
Hello, glad to be back.
So, Seamus, I know we touched on this briefly back in our 8th episode when you called in, but what are your thoughts on the Bad Batch?
I'm happy that you liked it, TJ, but I'm saying it new. I called it. I f***ing called it. Bad Batch was good for what it was, alright? But at the same time, disappointing, as it's yet another Filoni thing trying to backpedal make sense of those shite sequel movies that no one gives two shites about.
Somehow Palpatine returned. Somehow Palpatine returned. Somehow Palpatine returned. Somehow Palpatine returned. Palpatine returned. Palpatine returned. Somehow 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 Palpatine.
Next time on Life from Ahch-To, a Star Wars podcast.
What's this?
Misa called Jar Jar Binks.
A local.
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks.
Excuse me. Misa Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks.
Hit the nose.
Jar Jar Binks.
Don't do that again.
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks.
Don't do that again.
Hit the nose.
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks.